This is how to get good at doing gens in Dead by Daylight. Stop staring at the chase like some Roman emperor who thinks he's above everyone. Do the goddamn gens. But not just the same ones as everyone else. You've got to spread pressure across the map and make sure everyone is on a separate one to make it more difficult for the killer to pick a target and to also avoid getting 3-gen. If staying still and hitting skill checks for longer than a minute is hard for your TikTok brain, maybe just put some Italian brain rot on your phone or something. Try to figure out where you might run if the killer were to approach your generator. But do not lead the killer to other generators currently being worked on. If you're no longer in chase and you come across a gen that appears to be sparkling and losing progress, even if you don't plan on repairing it completely, it's usually better to stop it from aggressing anyway. When you only have one generator left to do, there are actually 3 left on the map. And if you haven't been paying attention, there's a good chance the final 3 are incredibly close together, making it brain dead easy for the killer to protect. Okay, so let's rewind to when you had 3 of them repaired, but you mostly stayed on one side of the map, and now the killer only has to worry about the other half. Not good. Rewind again. This time your team finished gens all around the map but were too afraid to approach the ones in the middle. Do you see the problem now? You kind of want to do them in such an order so that the remaining 3 are really far away from each other.
But Adam, I can never find them anywhere. How am I supposed to know?
Fair enough, I've been there too, but eventually realized how stupid I was. They're usually laid out like this: 6 gens close to the perimeter and 1 gen close to the middle. For indoor maps, the layout is pretty much the same, except they have multiple floors, which can be confusing, but you just have to check those areas on both floors. It depends on RNG. The most efficient thing the killer can do is ignore every generator except for the 3 that are closest at the beginning of the match, in which case 3-genning is inevitable, and so as a survivor you will need to know how to deal with this too. The trick is to split up and apply pressure to multiple gens at the same time. If the killer approaches you, run away from the 3-gen and they will most likely drop chase and go back to protecting it. If every teammate does this over and over again, after kicking one of the gens 8 times in total, it will no longer do anything, inevitably leading to breaking that 3-gen. Okay, but let's back it up a bit. If you're doing a gen, when does it make sense to unhook a survivor? What you don't want to do is get off your generator to start a marathon all the way to the hook, heal them up, and then come back to find that your gen has lost all of its progress. You should only make your way there if everyone who's alive is busy dealing with something right now. For example, if someone is in chase and nobody else seems to be going for the unhook. If you notice someone has gotten off their generator at this point, it's usually safe to assume they're making their way there and you can just continue doing your thing. If at some point you realize the killer is camping the hook and every survivor is focused on trying to unhook them, it will snowball very quickly. It's actually more beneficial to do gens and wait until the very last second to unhook, because then you're at least prioritizing progress over sacrifice, and it means the killer wasted time expecting someone to unhook immediately. Don't fall for the trap. Whenever you do unhook, immediately healing underneath it does make sense if the killer is busy chasing someone else, and can be more efficient than wasting time finding a place where you feel safer and then starting the healing process. It just depends on who's playing as the killer. Perhaps there are 2 people hooked at the same time. There is usually an opportunity to unhook one of them, but if one of your teammates are dead, it makes sense to reset and heal before attempting to save the other one. Also, it is painfully common for survivors to be so afraid of going down that they'll want to waste time healing instead of doing gens. Like, I get it if you're on death hook, but if you haven't even been hooked yet, you absolutely deserve to be farmed. If you'd like to support my YouTube channel so I can, like, pay for food and still work on my videos, there's a link to my Patreon below. Thanks for watching.